Now, listen, I want to say, Gene's going to give a report on CHA. And when you think about the fact that under his stewardship and John Hooker's stewardship, we ended the 50-year federal oversight of our housing. And we are very close to completing the plan for transformation. That is, yes. I'm going to posit an idea, and I'm hoping Gene puts a little more meat on the bone, but to give you have to think of CHA not as a housing authority, but as a community builder. And too often, and really when you look back at Gene's legacy and what he's done, and I can remember our first meeting in my office, and Megan was the one that identified, Gene, be quiet, no commentary about that meeting. That will go. Those are one of those things that we bury until we're about to write our book for a high fee, okay? But on a serious note, Megan had identified Gene, and the old way of doing work was just counting units built. But housing without a library, housing without a grocery store, housing without a transportation center is an island of housing isolated from a neighborhood. And under Gene's stewardship, the Marianos in Bronzeville, CHA land. The Jewel in Woodlawn, the first one in 47 years, CHA land. The excess tennis facility in Washington Park, CHA land. The Ellis Park facility in Bronzeville, CHA financial resources from the financing from selling the land to Mariano's, which is 2 blocks away. And what really has happened under Gene's leadership, and I can go down 20 lists. Somebody's on the way out going to tell me, you forgot about this.
Target and Rogers.
Right there. I didn't even have to walk anywhere. The Target in Rogers Park. I was just testing you, Alderman. But what I'm saying to you is, 40 years ago, housing was about how many units you built. It's not wrong to measure the progress of a housing authority. Just look at New York. But the real measure of what Gene and John and Megan and the rest of the board that's here has done, the real measure is that they have reconfigured and be part of building a community. So if you go to Washington Park, there's new housing lofts, there's a new excess tennis facility, there's a new train stations, there's a Peaches restaurant, there's a University of Chicago there, and that is what CHA is building. You go to Woodlawn, there's a grocery store, there's POA, our new housing, there's a new school, there's a racquetball squash facility and mentoring. And what happens, and also in Bronzeville, you not only have new housing, new train stations, new grocery stores that had never been in former food deserts, you have new schools, new park districts, all 3 communities, population's up, crime is down, graduation rates are up, and jobs are up. And that is what the true measure of Gene's leadership. He realized that CHA of old was just housing, isolated and basically only counting units. If you're going to build a place where residents feel part of a neighborhood and a community, you have to have all the pillars that build a residential and retail economy, so a neighborhood where kids grow up feel like a community. And I think that the legacy that Gene has built at CHA is to reinvent, rethink, and reimagine what a housing authority can be. It is not by itself just counting housing units, whether it's CHA vouchers, the Section 8 vouchers, or how many units you built. But when you put those units around with all the other pillars that build a neighborhood and community, then you build something where the residents that rely on public housing become part of a neighborhood and a community where they can raise their kids, and their kids can go to school, go to after-school activity, go to a sports activity, get on a train and make it to school, and then have a grocery store, a coffee shop, and a restaurant in their neighborhood. And then you're building neighborhoods, not housing. And that is what we all aspire for just for ourselves. And Gene has taken the heart and interest of the residents to place and made sure that what they see in their neighborhood is like every other neighborhood, and they're not isolated from it and distant from it geographically, psychologically, and physically. And he has done an incredible job at reinventing and reimagining public housing in Chicago. Eugene Jones.